Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, again, police burst another illegal correctional center in the Rigasa area of Kaduna State, free 147 inmates. Chief of Defense Staff General Abayomi Olonishaki restates the military's commitment to ensuring Nigeria's security against insurgents and other criminal elements. Residents sacked from their homes following massive flooding of Lagos border communities as OGUN River overflows its banks. And UK members of Parliament back an amendment aimed at preventing out a non-deal Brexit as Prime Minister Boris Johnson vows to ensure the country exits the EU by October 31st.
On Business News tonight, the International Monetary Fund promises stronger collaboration with African economies at the IMF World Bank meetings round off in Washington, D.C. tomorrow.
And on sports news tonight, Nigeria's home-based Super Eagles failed to qualify for the 2020 African Nations Championship. That's after losing 4-3 to Togo on aggregate.
The police in Kaduna State have uncovered yet another illegal Islamic rehabilitation center in Rigasa area of Kaduna State. But this time, the newly uncovered facility also has women as inmates. Governor Nasir El-Rufai was also present when policemen raided the center, popularly called Malam Niga's Rehabilitation Center, and evacuated 147 inmates, with some of them in chains. Amongst them are 22 females and other foreigners. Although they were said to have been brought to the center by their parents for rehabilitation from drug abuse and other juvenile delinquencies, the chains on their legs and bruises on their bodies brings a sad memory of Nigeria's slave trade days. The inmates were later evacuated from the center, though, and taken to the Hajj camp in Mando area of the state capital for further profiling and medical attention before they will be reunited with their families. One of the female inmates recounts her experience in the illegal rehabilitation center.
Malam Niga Center as a drug addict. They made my parents believe that they would change me and reformed me from the drugs I take. But outside, I was going through sex and drugs. I came back to the house and still facing that same thing because I was being abused by the son-in-law. Not me alone, we were about 7 girls now that remain. Most of them have gone home. We're being abused by him, and sometimes there are drugs that do come into the house, come and go, drug abuse too. It still go on in the house.
Meanwhile, the Kaduna State Commissioner for Human Services and Social Development says that the owners of the center and their likes will not be free.
Time around, His Excellency the Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai actually visited that facility and closed it down. And he asked us to remove all the inmates there and secure them. And that was exactly what we did. Just as we did the first time, we brought them to Hajj camp, where we have taken their statistics to find out the actual number of the inmates, which comes up to be 147, out of which 22 are females. And then we have 4 below the age of 18, and then the rest are adults. While also amongst them we have 2 Cameroonians and 2 from Niger Republic. Honestly, the condition is so dehumanizing. The rooms where the females are being kept is really very small. The toilet facility is not in good shape, and then the men are sleeping on a mat in an open space, and also they are all chained. All of them, they are all chained, and some of them were really thoroughly beaten, while some actually complained that they even have a broken arm. Some of them they have mental issues, while some were on drugs. And then we have also others that told us it's because they were stubborn. That was why the parents actually brought them there.
Very sad indeed. The Chief of Defence Staff, General Abayomi Olonishakin, says that the Nigerian military will not rest until the country is safe from the threats of Boko Haram terrorists, armed bandits, kidnappers and other criminal elements. He's also insisting that the security challenges facing the country will soon be a thing of the past, as the military is working hard to finally defeat the insurgents and other criminal elements. He gave the assurance during the passing out parade of the 78 regular recruits intake in the Nigerian Army Depot, Zaria, in Kaduna State.
It's the passing out parade ceremony in honor of the 78 regular recruits intake of the Nigerian Army in Kaduna State, with the recruitment of a total of 5,000 young officers who have just completed their training at the Nigerian Army Depot in Zaria.
General Abayomi Gabriel Olonishakin, Nigerian Army Medal.
The arrival of the Chief of Defence Staff, General Abayomi Olonishakin, signals the commencement of the event as he proceeds to inspect the Guard of Honor.
The review officer and guest of honor, and has also invited him to inspect the 10 guards on parade.
Then this colourful display by the young officers. The Chief of Defence Staff has a message for the new recruits and Nigerians.
Nigeria is currently facing numerous security challenges occasioned by the activities of Boko Haram terrorists, armed bandits, kidnappers, and other criminal elements. I wish to state that these security challenges will soon come to an end, as we will not rest on our oars until the country is safe for all of us.
He also wants the new recruits to uphold the values of loyalty, discipline, and selfless service.
The Nigerian Army has given you much, and the country is expecting much from you. I urge you to remain focused and dedicated to duty at all times. Moreover, I wish to remind you of the oath of allegiance that was administered to you. By that oath, you have acquired a special status where you are subject to both civil and military laws.
As the newly recruited officers move to the field, it's expected that they improve on the manpower needs of the Nigerian Army, contributes to Nigeria's national security, and more importantly, play a bigger role in confronting the country's security challenges.
I'm also subdued through carrying of 10 kilograms of loads in their packs.
The recent flooding in some parts of Lagos may have caused untold hardship to many residents of the commercial city. But now that the rains is gradually subsiding, it appears that those who live on the bank of Ogun River have another challenge to contend with. Residents of Isheri, Opik area and some others in neighboring Ogun State, like Denro, Ishashi, have been forced to abandon their homes as floodwaters from the river has put the entire communities in danger of being swept away.
This is not a river. It's the Kara cattle market. Residents can only find a way to their homes and shops in a canoe. The water levels, never seen by many who live here, have become a cause for fear.
Heavy punishment by the water. See our people in the main road, they will sleep. People sinking inside water with their family, they have nowhere to go. And nobody else to come and confirm what happened to us. We are just living zigzagly. We don't know what is going on.
We need assistance of government to assist us for this flood. Because this time around, this flood is coming up this year. It's really terrible.
The effects of the flooding are greatly felt at Opik, Isheri North GRA. Houses completely in harm's way as residents proffer solutions. Houses have been flooded, some to the window level. As people trying to make their way pass in knee-level waters.
You wake up in the morning, you see that the height of the water has increased. Currently, it's has almost reached people's waste now. So the water has been on for quite a number of days. It's been a lot of work because quite a number of people have had to move their stores out of their houses, need to relocate temporarily till the flood subsides.
I don't know what to say then. This is how people become homeless in less than 24 hours.
The government should please come to our aid to come and rescue us here. Everybody, we've moved out from this estate. Nobody is here now.
A raft comes handy to get out for others in Isheri Estate, where the water level is not only dangerous, but threatening to submerge the entire community.
Well done, son. Well done, son.
All they want at this time is for governments to come to their aid and, if possible, control the level of water released from the Ogun River, which is obviously overflowing its bank.
A dire situation it is indeed. The federal government and the labour unions may have agreed to an adjustment to the new minimum wage, but it did not come that easy, as it took both parties 3 days to arrive at the decision. Channels Television sought to view the views of some Nigerians on the latest agreement between the government and labour unions and the likely effect on the nation's economy.
The ministers of labour and employment, as well as representatives of the workers' union, are pending their signature on the new minimum wage consequential adjustment agreement. The document specifies what percentage of salary increase that civil servants should expect as the government fully implements the 30,000 naira minimum wage. The boardroom meeting's over. How do Nigerians feel about the new arrangement? The civil servants are the main beneficiaries of the agreement. While some of them feel that it will better their lives, others think otherwise.
I think it's a good thing because civil servants have been suffering. Their salaries are very, very low. They can hardly live with it. I think it's a good thing to increase it. It's not a bad thing.
I know, perhaps I'm a senior staff. I'm in a senior staff cadre, but how much is the money? Now, so I'm going now. At least I'm closing 7, 8 o'clock. No overtime, no nothing. We are just working, it's just simply because we have no any option.
But the reaction is not coming from just the civil servants, as business owners also differ on the effect of the new minimum wage and adjustments on the financial capacity of Nigerians.
Customs, they increase this time around, the increase on our goods is more than 50%. So definitely the goods in the market will be higher. And it's not as if we in the market we are the ones increasing the price. No, it's the policies that government are giving us that is hiking the price of commodities in the market. So I don't think there will be the increment in the minimum wage will have any good effect on the citizens.
Others, however, say that beyond the increase in the minimum wage, government has to do more to cushion the economic hardship of Nigerians.
Even if they pay somebody 50 million, it goes down the road. So send the message to the governments that they should look deep to look into what they need to do to complement human existence in terms of infrastructure, in terms of everything that has to help people to live life.
A major concern remains whether the state governors, who have for long had an aversion to the increase, will be able to meet up with the new arrangement. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
In part two, after the break, amid calls for more funding of the judiciary, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Yemi Candid Johnson, makes case for more accountability by heads of judges. Stay with us.